discussing Robin. 3, 2, 1, go!
Versus Lucas. These two are both really good with these characters. They are solo mains. They play unorthodox characters. Not every day you see these in the meta, but both these guys have really done a good job of perfecting the way they play these characters. It's a crazy matchup too because obviously Lucas can absorb a lot of the projectiles that Robin will be looking to throw, but Robin has so many tools that they can use and kill so quickly with that weapon sword. Dangerous, not to mention the amount of bait potential. And I don't think Lucas's down B is as good as Ness's per se. And it doesn't seem to be like a good option because obviously REM isn't really using it. And I imagine it's very situational because it's hard to keep up with. I don't know. As soon as you try to absorb something, he comes in with the weapon sword. So that definitely makes it difficult. Takes that stock. iGreg looking really good, but REM saying no, I'm going to keep it close. Bringing it down one stock closer. Real tight neutral game. The weapon sword does literally 2 hits, 29%. They need it. Absorbs the Arc Thunder, brings it right back down to 17, but all of a sudden, he's right back where he started. What a crazy match. It's just trying to bait each other out, counterplay, absorb, bait, rinse, repeat. Okay. Oh no, he tried to bait him out. A really good job from REM being patient there. He didn't fall for the frame trap. He's trying to get in, but iGreg doing such an excellent job of keeping a wall. And even when REM is getting, when he's getting a hit, he's not able to extend his combos the way he wants to. And both these guys have very terrifying combo games. So they're playing neutral very carefully. Robin, not the easiest character to edgeguard in my opinion. They have a lot of options. And they can go deep. But it's doable. Nice. Tags him with that anti-air. And again, unable to get the edge guard. But still, both these guys playing a great neutral game. And I love the composure Rem is keeping. You can't even tell that he's down a whole stock because he's playing like it's just every, he's playing for every stock. He's playing for every neutral game. And he's clearly been in this position before. He wants to bring this back. And if he does, I'll be the first one to pop off after him, I'm sure. Nice, gets a little bit more health back with that absorb. And that's how volatile this matchup can be, because you get enough absorbs, you can bring it back. You can always bring it back as a Lucas against a character with the projectiles that Robin has. And there we go. All right. Honestly, it's not out of the realm of possible here. Lucas at 124, but if he gets a few projectiles absorbed, he can bring that health down. He'll be in this to win it. Starts off with a quick 9%er, 16%. It's looking very rough. Yeah, that'll do it. Wow. Excellent timing by iGreg. He held on to that for so long and then released it. He was like, you know what? Now's a good time to end this game. Let's get another one going. But I do feel like there's going to be a lot of really interesting adjustments made in this type of matchup. I'm very curious to see how both of these guys change up the game plan and see, based on what they've learned from the approaches that were done and the mistakes that were made last game. And we'll see if Rem can take this off of iGreg real quick. At least bring it to a game 3. Okay. So Rem really trying to stay right in Robin's face, not trying to get him any space so that they can start charging up their neutral B specials. But arc fire, it's rough to get caught in that. The amount of continuations that Robin can do is pretty much endless once you get hit right in the center of that. Excellent job getting right around that arc fire. Doesn't get hit by Nosferatu, but then iGreg turns it right around with a reverse Nosferatu. Both these guys still sitting happily at 3 stocks apiece, trying to play very carefully. That was a very conservative option, I feel like, by Rem. I feel like it was very conservative, and I respect that, but at the same time, where he gets his mileage is when he goes for those hard reads and gets a lot out of them. It can be risky, but the best thing to do with Robin is get a lead on him, kill him early, because with Levin Sword, you never know when you're going to die. You've got to make sure you take a commanding lead against this character, because even when you do, they can come back very quickly. And if they're in the lead, it's almost impossible, I feel like. But so far, both these guys are dead even. Next big hit will take the first stop. Yeah, that seemed really risky because Rem is jumping over these projectiles a lot, and I feel like iGreg is kind of waiting it out and getting the timing down to get a big punish. Not right now, but maybe in a stock or two, he will punish that heavily. Oh, we've got Classic jumping in on the commentary.
For like the 4th time because you can't keep me away.
Absolutely. So I was just talking about how interesting this matchup is. Obviously, unorthodox characters for the meta. At the same time, when you put them together, you add for a really entertaining battle.
Yeah, because, both of these characters can be played like somebody like your bread and butter zoners, but they also have the ability to just kind of have like that highlight reel combo that just absolutely destroys the opponent and ends their career. Right now, though, we're coming in game 2 fairly even. iGreg up 1 game and has a slight lead here in game 2, but need to see if Rem's able to adapt to whatever it was it cost him game 1.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you were watching game 1, but iGreg took a really commanding lead in the beginning. It seemed like Rem caught his, really figured the matchup out later in the game, and then it became very close, but very difficult to come back from. The second game, adjustments have been made, and it's been much closer.
And I do feel like iGreg has the head-to-head for these two. I only know about 1 time that I've seen them play, but yeah, definitely showing that he still remembers what what it took for him to win last time, and like almost brought his percent back to 0 to where almost going for the full 0 to death here, but
Yep.
Thoron gonna take it. I gotta go.
Good luck. All right. Thank you for stopping by, Classic. Always a pleasure. Okay, so we are back to the action here. One commentary, all we need though, and iGreg taking another good lead, but a very hard-earned lead because REM has not been making it easy for him. Been playing a really strong neutral game and really making him earn these stocks. Except for right there, that was pretty much free. There we go. Absorbing the neutral bees or the arc fire. I can't even keep track. We've got thunder. I don't know. To me, it seems like Robin just has so many projectiles. I can't keep track of what all the names are. I'm just gonna call them B, side bees, and neutral bees. Holding on to that stock again. REM being a little conservative, given the fact that he's down right now. I feel like edge guarding is essential. And speak of the devil. There we go. Got a nice gimp there. It seemed like Robin ran out of resources to recover.
It's a little. This adapter is bad. We'll figure it out. Brand new. I don't know why.
Okay, now we've got Ducks on the commentary joining in.
All right, how you guys doing? So we got REM and iGreg. Even percents, you know, one thing to think about with this matchup is how exactly what REM is doing right now, how he can juggle and kind of dominate the air versus iGreg on Robin. But if you can't get out of the corner, you can't really create that situation.
And Robin does a great job keeping you feeling cornered and applying pressure and making you go through the obstacle course to get to them.
Yeah, and right now we can just see like iGreg just kind of dominating the stage control and demanding REM to find an option, whether it's jump out or try and aggressively aerial out. A good reversal coming through, and now this is the chance for REM to capitalize and take this game.
Yeah, and both these guys have honestly been very patient, especially given how easy they can kill, but get sniped right there. And honestly, that was a big comeback. iGreg had a commanding lead, and REM brought it back.
Now, was it like a larger than one stock lead, or oh, so it was like a 3-1 lead?
Yeah, and iGreg took the game one very, very convincingly.
Gotcha.
So REM really rallied, and I feel like he got a lot of momentum. He started to figure out the matchup during game one at the end. Beginning of game two looked great, got a little shaky in the middle, but then he rallied and brought it back.
Now, this is where we have to make a little bit of an adaptation here. I'm assuming both games were played on PS2.
Yes.
So, thinking as Robin, how are you going to isolate Lucas? Maybe something like a platform where you can trap Lucas on those scenarios and keep creating these iterations of platform play that Lucas kind of can't really get around.
Excellent question, and looks like they're going to town and cities. Oh, no, they're going back to PS2. Okay.
Hey, it makes for the best games in Georgia.
Scratch all of the theory. We're going to good old-fashioned vanilla.
I mean, nothing better than going back to PS2, especially in this. This is just the meta of Georgia.
Hey, they both have one game apiece on this. They're both very closely contested. So at this point, they just want to see who's going to come out the better, who played better tonight.
Yeah. Right now, what I want to see from this matchup is how iGreg is going to basically manage the 11 sword in this matchup. You can already see trying to poke out, bait REM's options. You can see these snake dashes coming through the middle Mario, and that is where I think iGreg is going to make their most money. Right there, taking a greedy magnet and getting popped from numerous areas.
Yeah, and I don't feel like REM has been using the absorb too much, but I feel like in the beginning of this game, he already started out using it, kind of letting him know, hey, I'm not going to just take this projectile game from you without putting up a fight.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense, man. I mean, right now, Robin is doing such a good job of keeping REM in a constant disadvantage state, but again, the juggle coming out from REM to try and equalize this game, but now out of 11 sword, so this entirely changes the game plan from iGreg.
Absolutely, as well as REM.
Yeah, I mean, REM has to go on the offensive a little bit more now, but I spoke too soon. There's the 11 sword, and that up air is powerful.
Yeah. What is the calling sign for the 11 sword coming back? I'm not too familiar myself. Does he shine? I think he has like a little sparkle that comes in. His body flashes
I think
a
it's
little bit.
I think it's a time limit, if I recall correctly. I'm not 100% sure.
But I mean, is there like an indicator that Robin shows when he gets it back or she gets it back?
Not that I know off the top of my head, but the 11 sword already out, and the fire book already almost out right now. We're ditching the book, using the bronze sword to try and create some tempo. And right now, I just want to see REM create a little bit more of a grounded presence. You know, we see REM just kind of content to sit on these platforms.
Yeah, and honestly, that was the story of game 1 and 2. And honestly, he really started to, you know, he started to double down more in the later stocks. And I was thinking the same thing last game. I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but somehow he was able to get it done last game. So I'm at a loss for his strategy.
Yeah, and right now, putting into motion exactly what we were talking about, using this grounded strategy, 149 on iGreg in a massive disadvantage state. But that 11 sword just coming in so clutch to try and swat away Lucas.
Yeah, and it makes it really dangerous to try to absorb anything, because if you get caught with your hand in that cookie jar, 11 sword will get you out of it immediately.
I mean, that's the thing about this matchup, especially. You have to respect the resources that Robin is utilizing at any given moment, right? And good use of the magnet to try and stop that. That probably could have ended in a quick stock.
Yeah.
But iGreg staying on a larger charge, and that will do it.
It's so scary to see, like, what do you do there other than, you know, even if you parry it, I don't think you can actually punish. You're kind of just going to have to, like, still probably get killed.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit odd to try and get out of that shield pressure. However, Lucas does have numerous options, like the magnet, using the freeze in this aggressive kind of manner in the corner.
Yeah.
So you do have to take into account how iGreg is trying to play this matchup to kind of bait a decision from REM. And iGreg just doing a phenomenal job of just forcing aggressive options, trying to swing, covering every angle.
Good mix-ups, but REM is able to take that first stock. Let's see if he can make magic happen. I feel like Lucas and Ness always have a chance when it comes to matchups like this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what I would say is this is definitely a chance for REM to try and at least mount some type of a comeback. Again, this is winners 4, so this is win or go to losers, but unfortunately,
the 11 sword.
Yeah, that 11 sword from the Arcfire is so consistently good. And iGreg does not miss that execution. You can just see him right now. He is just vibing after that game.
Yeah, absolutely vibing. Well deserved, because those two are battling like absolute warriors to the death. And I know that wasn't easy for